Hello everybody, how are you doing today? And welcome back to the garden. It's a lovely summer's day. I think it's 8 o'clock now. It's a perfect time to do some gardening. Let's go. So let's have a look what we can do today in the garden. I think it's gonna be a question of harvesting. Let me show you what I have in mind. My broad beans are definitely getting ready to be harvested. Some of them are ready for sure. Just noticed, if you've never seen, those are black flies. That's why I try to remove all the tips from the growing plant. So that needs to go. Just like that. You can throw it on the ground, they're not going to come back on the broad beans. So quickly, while I'm here, I can have a quick look. There's more black flies on that one, and the tip was removed. They're actually spreading all over the pots as well. So I think this whole patch is gonna get harvested today. I think they are ready anyway. Let's have a quick look on the other side. I think those ones are looking much better. Okay, so that's the plan. Let's harvest some broad beans today. So we have our broad beans to be harvested, and next on the list are the potatoes in the pots. Let me show you how they look like now. So they are rather sorry looking bunch. They are all finished, so hopefully we're gonna get some tubers under the ground. Let me have a quick rummage around. Let's just have a quick sneak peek. There's nothing I can feel. We'll see what we're gonna get when we tip it over. Let's have a quick look in the greenhouse. It definitely needs watering. It's constant watering here in the greenhouse, but everything is looking splendid. We might today tie up the tomatoes. I think they grew about 20 to 30 centimeters in last week since I last tied them up, so we're gonna do that. The jerkins are looking great. I might actually have one or two small ones to try. The grapes are getting there. Yeah, in the greenhouse it's going to be a case of watering and tying up the tomatoes. I might get one or two jerkins as well for a sandwich, but let's have a look what's happening outside. The leeks with the carrots are looking good. You can kind of see the carrots forming. It's a good sign. But the main job outside gonna be lifting those nets. Looks like what are those? Broccoli. Looks like my broccolis reached the top of the netting, so I need to lift it a bit to give them more space. And I think there's another, is it third or fourth harvest of strawberries. Those are the last ones, but I'm still gonna pick them. There should be quite a few. The red and white cabbages. This patch needs weeding under the netting, but the cabbages themselves are looking, well, they're looking quite good actually, growing well. The whole garden is growing very well. That's the main crop potatoes. They're all getting to flower now, so it won't be that long until they are ready. But I'm most likely gonna leave this whole patch as it is until the plants die on their own. So yeah. Oh, just one thing I wanted to show you. My constant battle with the moles. That's how much soil I picked up yesterday. And that's what the mole brought back overnight. But that's all good. I need some soil to do extra sowing for my crop rotation, so that's all gonna be used. I was just using the sieve to remove any stones and such. So that soil gonna be used for sowing probably more beans, maybe some cabbages, we'll see. So let's get ready and do some gardening. Okay, so I have my basket for the broad beans. I'm gonna go around and pick all the pods. But what I'm thinking, actually, I might remove all these plants, collect even the small pods. That's gonna give me more space. I have some zucchinis, courgettes growing in the middle. That's gonna give them some extra space. And with the black flies arriving so early, there's no point in waiting. I'm trying to grow these beans even bigger. It's an uphill battle. I'm not gonna win with the black flies. If you are harvesting your broad beans and you wanna leave the plant alive to wait for more pods to grow, you can be gentle. The easiest way is to grab the pot, grab the plant and pull it down. It comes off like that, and the stem is not damaged much, but I'm not gonna be too careful with them. So for me at this stage, the easiest way to harvest the broad bean is to chop down the whole plant all the way to the ground. I try to leave the roots intact and just pick the pods as I go around. I'll let you know how much I got from those plants. I don't know if you remember about the experiment I did. I pinched all the growing tips from this patch when I was planting the broad beans to compare if it's going to be much difference between this and this patch. This one was planted just normal traditional way, but I'm looking at it now and I think it's almost exactly the same. So it doesn't really matter if you pinch the growing tips or not. Seems like you're getting almost same yield. The only thing was I didn't have to prop up those one as much. All around this patch I put bamboo sticks and strings to keep the plants upright. But just with a quick overview, looks like it's gonna be a decent broad bean harvest, even with the black flies arriving so early. All this green matter gonna go on the compost as always. This time of the year the compost heap is growing every day with all the garden waste, but that's brilliant. I'm gonna get more compost for next spring. We're supposed to be getting a heat wave here in UK. They are predicting 30 degrees today and tomorrow. We'll see if that's ever gonna happen. So let me speed up the video while I'm harvesting all this stuff, and I'll see you back in a moment. Well, that's not half bad, if I may say so myself. So that's the amount of pots I got from this patch. That's the amount of green matter that's going to go on the compost. And I managed to liberate some of my zucchinis. I think there's 3 or 4 plants here. They're going to have much more light and space to grow now. This whole area needs a bit of weeding. There's some poppies and other weeds, but nothing too serious. So let me continue with this patch, and I'll see you back after I'm done. So this one harvest changed the plot quite a lot. You can't see the wall of broad beans anymore, but that's giving me extra space to plant other things. I need to think what I want. I've noticed something interesting when I was harvesting. I used the cuttings from the pear tree after pruning the pear tree to support the broad beans, and quite a few of them look like they might be rooting. I think that's quite interesting. I might leave 1 or 2 and see if I'm gonna get a free pear tree. So yeah, as I said, it's not a bad harvest at all. It's a whole basket of broad beans. They just need to be shelled now. That's a tedious job, but it's well worth doing. And another wheelbarrow of green material for the compost. So that's all the harvest from the broad beans. I think that's not bad at all. So now it's going to be a tedious job of podding all those beans. And I just realized, with the excitement of harvesting, I forgot to leave any plants for the seeds for the next year. But fingers crossed, I should have some. I'm pretty sure I have some beans in the storage from previous years. But yeah, that's a note to myself and to all of you guys. If you're planning to leave some plants for the seed saving, don't cut them down, let them ripen. But yeah, now I'm gonna do some shelling. I'm gonna put a weight of the broad beans after the shelling, how much I got from those 2 patches. And I think that might be all for today. I'm gonna do some more harvesting in the next video. Most likely it's gonna be the potatoes. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me in the garden, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.